Welcome back, everybody, to another film room on the channel. Today, we're going to be breaking down Elandon Roberts, new Steelers inside linebacker. Finally got to dive into a little bit more of his film, so I wanted to share my thoughts on him as a player, how he could potentially help the Pittsburgh Steelers next season. We're going to be looking at just a couple clips from the Minnesota Vikings game from last season. Just before we get started, please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys want more content. Here we go. All right, so first play here against the Minnesota Vikings. This is I believe, 1st and 10. Get some motion here, which is going to cause these linebackers to bump over. Anytime the tight end, so 84, the guy in motion, anytime Y is off the ball, especially in a 2-point stance, you need to be aware that he's probably coming across the formation. Roberts, he knows that. He's a smart football player. So you're going to get split flow inside zone. With him coming across, Roberts is able to stay patient and make the tackle. So on this play, Roberts has a triangle read. So he is reading from number 84 to number 67, the right guard, into the backfield. So this right guard is going to zone step towards this zero tech. He's going to see 84 coming across the line of scrimmage. And this tight end is climbing to the second level to get him. This is something that Roberts does really well. Okay, he's really good at block deconstruction. He will willingly take on blocks with physicality and violence. That's something you really like. That's why he's been such a solid, stout run defender over the course of his career, is because of the way that he can shed and stack blocks. You see him push this tight end backwards while making the tackle with one hand. It's a really good rep. This is definitely his strength. His strength is run defense. He's going to bring some physicality, some violence to the Steelers' front seven. He's really an early down kind of specialist, an old school thumper type. So on this play, we just get a play action. More than likely, I'm pretty sure this is man coverage in the back end. So more than likely, he's either responsible for one of these guys, either the tight end or the running back that's staying in on pass protection. But this is something that Roberts can do too. Like, he can rush the passer a little bit. He rushed the passer, I think, 29 times last season, but ended up with like 13 pressures. He's a high energy player, a high motor player, pretty instinctual. You know, he will try to find his way to the football in the backfield. Nice rep there, just, you know, staying active. So this is something I wanted to point out too. He, you know, as the Mike linebacker in this Dolphins defense, he did a lot of pre-snap communicating. So Cousins in this game in particular was constantly checking at the line of scrimmage. And every time you saw Cousins check, you see these little hand signals from Roberts, you know, letting his defense know what's going on, making sure everybody's in the right play, talking to his linebackers beside him. Again, this is the same kind of concept, just a little bit different of a formation with the fullback in the backfield. Again, his triangle read on this play is from guard to guard into the backfield. All right, so he's going to read this guard. You again see some zone steps to the left, but Roberts is already key in the backfield, and he sees this fullback kind of coming across the formation. These inside zone plays are literally designed cutback runs. So again, this tight end is able to climb to the second level. He's going to be taking on Roberts head on. And again, Roberts wins that battle. He's going to win these battles, especially with tight ends, all the time. See the contact, physicality, stays in his gap, does a nice job falling back in his run fit, making another run stop. So since he's just a really early down specialist, you know, he's a thumper type, he's a run stopper, he's not a guy that you really want in coverage. So what do you do with a player like that when teams start to spread you out? Well, you can be really aggressive in what you want to do on defense, particularly with him as a blitzer. So this is something that Miami like to do, you know, this little double A gap mug look with him lined up over the center. They end up dropping some guys out. But Cousins, in my opinion, makes a bad check here. He ends up, even though he sees pressure, he goes with a fake screen wheel, which does not have time to develop. But this is just kind of how he was deployed in Miami. You know, he wasn't asked to do a ton in coverage. He's not that type of player. but you can use him as long as he's playing downhill towards the line of scrimmage. He can be a helpful asset to you in the red zone. This is just another one of those plays where, ultimately the result of the play is a little bit unfortunate for the Dolphins defense because it ends up being a touchdown. But I wanted to highlight kind of the physicality that he brings. He's a tone setter. You see him in the middle of the field here, just absolutely deplete this tight end coming across. He's not really looking. Boom, knocks him off his feet. This is just kind of the mentality that he's going to bring to the defense. He loves to hit. Anything that's moving, he's willing to hit it. And I just think that's a presence that the Steelers, honestly, in the linebacker room have been kind of missing over the past couple of seasons. They've had some more finesse players. Elandon Roberts is a physical player. That's his game. Physicality and violence is his game. Just another run fit here. Really like the patience on this play. So we're getting 8 guys in the box here because the Vikings have a fullback. They used a fullback a lot in this game, as you can already see. I've already showed several clips with heavier personnel. This strong safety right here, who is basically your 8th man, once he sees this extra tackle, which is operating as a tight end on this play, once he sees him down block, this safety is going to shoot this gap, shoot the C gap, and take on this fullback. Well, since he does that, Roberts does a good job understanding how to play off of his teammate by staying patient and understanding that he has to stay outside to contain. You see him immediately just press the line of scrimmage. This is just being slow till good instincts, good patience, and another run stop on Dalvin Cook. He's not the most sure tackler in the world. He will miss some tackles, but normally it's just when he's playing a little bit too fast or out of control. When he stays patient like this, you don't see guys dragging him for additional yards after contact. You don't see guys, just running him over like he's a really stout guy. Just want to put some numbers up here from last season. You see those 40 stops. He had an 8.1% run stop rate per Pro Football Focus. That was actually higher than any of the Steelers linebackers last season. Spillane, Devin Bush, Miles Jack. They've really made an effort to overhaul this linebacker room. And I think really it's just started with getting more physical up front. I think the Steelers want to kind of get back to that physical mentality in the trenches. And I think Elandon Roberts kind of helps you do that. Roberts has a ton of special teams value too. He's played a good amount of special teams over the course of his career, dating back to his days in New England. A 2-year, $4 million deal doesn't mean that he's necessarily going to be the starter next season. But, at the end of the day, this is still a player that can help you out on early downs, kind of give you that buck linebacker, that thumper type that they've kind of been missing over the past couple of years, who can really come in and play like a significant role when you get to playing teams like Baltimore, teams that want to play in heavier personnel because of how well he stops the run. So, not a perfect player, but he's definitely a good depth addition, in my opinion, to the room. I still see the Steelers going inside linebacker early in the NFL draft in April. But Roberts, a veteran, he's been around. He's a good communicator, definitely can carve out a role and help the Steelers next season. So, if you guys stay till the end, really appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Just be sure to like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Going to be putting some more videos up. We're going to be draft heavy leading up to the draft, but I'll still try to cover as many, Steelers signings and stuff like that as I can. So appreciate you guys hopping on with me. Y'all have a good one. Peace.